Welcome to our video on the data implications of AI and ML. This is one of the lesser discussed topics in the field, and in this video, we'll be going over many of the areas that tend to surprise people and companies on these types of projects. And this brings up the topic of what has really been the focus of AI and ML. And clearly, it's the algorithms and the mathematics, and the idea that you can simply apply these mathematics to the existing data that the company already has. Totally oversimplify the amount of effort that is required in order to prepare the data to be used for an AI and ML project. So while we spend most of the time comparing and contrasting between different AI and ML vendors, what we miss is the actual data part of the equation. What companies would like to do is to begin running their algorithms as quickly as possible using the data scientists that have been brought on site when the project begins. However, they normally find that actually they've vastly overstated and overestimated how complete and ready the data is. Companies that want to be successful with AI projects should ask themselves the question of what's being underemphasized. What surprises are lurking in the data side? And also, what happens when projects are staffed without actually having the data buttoned up? AI needs data. And of course, this is what happens when you have data scientists that are on projects that don't have data to work on. However, something to consider is this quotation from Arvind Krishna. Many AI projects end up seeming a bit like flat soda. And this brings up the question of whether they need to be reinvigorated and perhaps whether a soda stream is necessary for these projects. We are coming out of a major bubble in data lakes and big data. However, there's a first commandment of data lakes, which is thou shalt drop data into the lake and then worry about the ROI later. This brings up the issue with data lakes, which is that the data has been insufficiently organized versus the focus on data accumulation. And of course, the ROI from the data lakes was only to come from insights. Here we have the results of a typical data lake project. But let's take a look at what the promise was regarding the data lake versus what the data lake eventually became. And this gets to the core issue that while AI may look tantalizing, the question of whether one is prepared for AI should be asked first before considering its potential. We reviewed the advertisements from major AI providers, and we found that the efforts in data prep or data limitations are virtually never mentioned. As an example, let's take a look at a video from one of these AI providers to see how many times they reference issues related to data. Select the next video below.